Have you ever whistled to call someone? Maybe a simple psst or a high-pitched sound to get your dog's attention. But what if that whistle could say so much more? What if it wasn't just a tune, but a complete message? A conversation, even stories from long ago. It sounds impossible, but on a small island in the Canary Islands, that's exactly what happens every day. Welcome to La Gomera, a mountainous island in the middle of the Atlantic. This tiny piece of Earth is home to about 22,000 people. Imagine living surrounded by endless blue, with ocean waves crashing on one side and cliffs plunging into the sea on the other. Now, if you thought my previous story about whistling was already impressive, wait till you hear about this one. High up in the island's ravines, nestled among the clouds, live people who have mastered an incredible skill. They can whistle an entire language. It's called Silbo Gomero, which means whistling language. And it's not just a fun party trick. It's a serious form of communication that's been around for hundreds of years. In fact, it's so special that UNESCO recognizes it as intangible cultural heritage of humanity. This is like their way of saying, it's super important and should be protected. But why is this language so unique? Well, let's go back in time a bit. Back then, life on the island was a bit different. Most people were farmers or herders, tending to their animals. They lived far apart, and when they needed to talk to each other, distance was a big problem. You see, La Gomera is a wild island with deep valleys carved out by rivers over many years. These ravines, as they're called, can be kilometers wide and echoey. So when someone tried to shout across them, their voice would get all jumbled and distorted. That's why whistling became such a useful skill. People realized that whistles cut through the noise and could carry much farther. And because of the shapes of their mouth and fingers, they could make lots of different sounds. So it's much easier to convey different meanings. But it didn't stop there. As centuries passed, people kept adding new sounds and meanings until they created a full-fledged language. It's called Silbo, and it's based on Spanish. But instead of speaking it, people use whistles to say almost anything they want. There are special whistles for everyday things like hello or how are you. Others for more complex ideas like there's a big storm coming or let's meet at the old oak tree. It's like having a secret code with your friends. Except everyone in the community knows it. Now you might think it's hard to understand a language made only of whistles. And you'd be right. But here's the mind-blowing part. For people who grew up on the island, it's totally natural. When they hear a whistle, their brains instantly turn it into words and sentences. They understand exactly what the other person means. It's like magic, but it's really just the amazing adaptability of the human brain. Learning this language isn't easy. Even islanders have to practice for years to master it, but the effort is worth it. Silbo lets them stay connected to their culture and history, and it also helps them solve problems together. Imagine living in a place where everyone communicates with whistles. It must feel like living inside a movie. All the conversations, gossip, and news spread through the valleys on wings of sound. But how do these conversations sound? To answer that question, let's eavesdrop on a couple of friends meeting in the market. The first friend asks, "Hi, how have you been?" And the other replies, "I've been well, thanks for asking." As they talk, their whistles dance in the air, rising and falling with the rhythm of their speech. They exchange news about their families, the latest local events, and maybe even some jokes. Their voices may be hidden, but their spirits shine through their whistles. Of course, there are times when a whistle isn't enough. If someone needs to confess something important or argue about something serious, they switch to regular speech. It's easier to express complex feelings and thoughts that way. But for everyday chats, Silbo is perfect. It's quick, fun, and keeps the gossip flowing. Here's another example. Two farmers are working in their fields when they spot a flock of birds flying overhead. One of them whistles a sharp note and says, "Hey, look, there's a storm coming." His friend looks up and replies, "Oh yeah, I'd better get home before it starts raining." And as the sky darkens, their whistles become a bit urgent. The first farmer whistles goodbye, and the second farmer answers with a wave of his hand. Even though they never spoke, they understood each other perfectly. And that's the beauty of Silbo. It's a language that brings people closer together, making friends and neighbors out of strangers. And now, imagine a vast field full of people chatting in whistles, their words floating above the crops like colourful kites dancing in the breeze. It's a peaceful scene until suddenly a shout breaks the quiet. A boy has wandered too close to the edge of a steep ravine and he's in danger. Without hesitation, an experienced hiker steps forward. Taking a deep breath, he lets out a series of long drawn-out whistles. The others fall silent. They know this sound well. It's the call for help. As they listen intently, they hear the hiker's desperate plea. He's asking for assistance to save the child. In this moment, the power of Silbo shines through. It's not just a language, it's a lifeline. The group responds with whistles of their own. Organizing a rescue operation, they split into teams, each responsible for a different part of the mission. Some rush to find ropes and first aid kits, while others quickly run to the nearest phone to call emergency services. Working together, they move with purpose, their whistles guiding their actions. As they reach the edge of the ravine, the hikers' whistles grow weaker. Time is running out, but the rescuers don't panic. Instead, they strategize, figuring out the best way to save the child. Their whistles become low and steady, communicating strength and reassurance. With each passing moment, they inch closer to the boy, their whistles echoing in the valley. Finally, they manage to pull the child to safety. Exhausted but elated, the islanders gather around him, their whistles now filled with relief and joy. In this dramatic event, Silbo proved its worth. It's a language that can unite, guide, and save lives. But remember, this isn't just a tale from the past. It's happening today. On the island, Silbo is alive and thriving. Children learn it in school, alongside Spanish and English. That way, no matter who you are or where you come from, you can join in on the whistling fun. And who knows, maybe someday you'll visit La Gomera and experience the magic of Silbo for yourself. You can wander through the markets, climb the mountains, or relax on the beach, all while hearing the joyful tunes of people conversing in whistles. It's a truly enchanting experience. But it's not just about fun and games. Learning Silbo helps preserve the island's unique culture. By knowing this ancient language, younger generations connect with their roots and keep their heritage alive. And Silbo isn't just spoken in schools. People of all ages use it every day. You might hear it while hiking through lush forests or strolling along coastal paths. It's a constant reminder that you're in a special place where whistling is more than just a hobby. It's a way of life. It's not easy to master, but once you do, you'll understand what it means to communicate without words. If you're curious to try it yourself, there are some resources online where you can learn basic phrases and tunes. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll find yourself on a breezy island, using Silbo to chat with friendly locals. It's a simple language, but it opens up a world of connection and understanding. All you need are a few notes and a willingness to explore the melodies of human communication. And if you love this story, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We've got tons of adventures waiting for you. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy whistling.